Hi, before I jump into today's video topic, I want to preface this with some disclaimers. I'm not claiming to be an authority on this topic, or any topic for that matter. I'm just sharing my personal experience of these topics, namely female sexuality, through the lens that I have lived it. My perception of things is informed by all of the experiences that I've lived in life. If you have a different experience or perception, that's perfectly expected, and I encourage you to share yours in the comments. Secondly, I am by no means judging anyone's personal experiences or choices. Life is a journey, and as long as you aren't causing anyone intentional harm, your choices are a-okay by me. That being said, let's discuss female sexuality and liberation. I watched a couple of videos on this topic that totally inspired me to make this video. I don't necessarily want to rehash the points they made, but I'll summarize them quickly here. The recent celibacy movement, if we want to call it that, has gained some popularity and also some pushback from dating apps, namely Bumble. Women are coming into the realization that hookup culture and casual sex are not maybe the solution to reclaiming their power like feminism once claimed it might be. Now, I'm not so sure that the celibacy movement is even a movement so much as it is a personal choice. Some women never engage in casual sex because of varying reasons. It just doesn't feel like their personality, or they have self-esteem issues that prevent them from getting out there, or maybe they just don't want to give men access to them if they don't feel 100% safe. There are so many reasons, but I'm not sure that sticking it to the patriarchy is one of those reasons for the majority of women who are, quote, swearing off casual sex. For me personally, I was celibate for about 2 years at one point. I wasn't trying to stick it to men by not giving them access to my body. I was just focused on myself and not interested in introducing someone to myself sexually without an emotional connection. And I wasn't ready to have an emotional connection at that time. It took a lot of introspection for me to become ready for a relationship of any kind. And the idea that women are denying sex to men kind of implies that men are deserving of sex. Maybe not the intention behind that idea, but I can see how that might come across. So in the heyday of casual sex and women embracing their sexuality, which was a moment that I think we needed in order to get to where we are now, I think a lot of women engaged in hookup culture for a couple of reasons. None of these are judgments, by the way. It was necessary for a lot of people to learn and grow. But I think the reasons varied from embracing toxic male sexuality, i.e. using someone's body to get off, to trying to find self-worth through being desired by someone else. These I would characterize as unhealthy coping mechanisms, and maybe a healthy coping mechanism may be having casual sex to explore sex and sexual acts, and engage with sex to find fulfillment in that way. Like I said, many different reasons why someone may be in their hoe phase, and there are definitely more that I'm not thinking of. Why is it that the solution to feeling used for sex and sexualized by men is to turn around and use other people in the same way? That has never sat well with me personally. Not that I haven't done so myself. Why did I engage with that? I'm not entirely sure. But I do know that I was unhealthy at the time. I absolutely was selfish and used other people's desire to have sex with me to both uplift myself and to make myself feel superior to others, which is so gross and feels like something a toxic frat boy would do. So why did we as feminists say, hey, we feel like men are using our sexuality for their own gain? Let's use their sexuality for our gain too. Like, two wrongs don't make a right. I also see the counterpoint that consenting adults can do whatever they want together, and having sex doesn't necessarily mean it's unhealthy. And yes, of course, I'm trying to point out that we don't know people's intentions unless they tell us. The women in my life who have been through this phase always expressed discontent with the experience afterward. And I wondered why. And then there is this idea of having casual sex with many different people out of your league, for self-esteem reasons. Is it wrong to find self-worth in being desired by other people? No, of course not. Is it the healthiest? Maybe not, right? Like, your self-worth should come from yourself. All of the happiest people I know don't derive their self-worth from what other people think of them, be it attractiveness or sex or education achievements or career advancements. Those things are only worth something if it's meaningful to yourself as well. As a thought experiment, do you think more of people who are desired by many people? Do you value desirability in other people? I would say that I do, but not because they are desired by other people. I value the power and perceived self-confidence that comes along with it. I value the idea of being truly sexually liberated, and that includes liberation from the expectation of sexuality. It's certainly interesting to consider the history of women's sexuality. I recommend Alice Chappelle's video for the comprehensive history. Of course, we still have progress to make, and we are constantly evolving, and attitudes are shifting, as seen by those whack-ass Bumble ads. But we are in a very unique and powerful place compared to what the attitudes used to be. I really want to hear from you guys. My audience is like 70% female, so you're in good company, and I'm particularly interested in your perspectives. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you, and I'm so excited to hear your experiences and thoughts.